So I'm going to come back around here, make my arc here. I don't want her to actually leave just because I get here behind her tail. I don't want her to think my body being here means go. It kind of does. See how it kind of does? Because I've done that a few times. So I'm going to recognize that, and I'm going to back up a little bit. And I'm just going to go to just kind of walking. Because I don't want her to think that just because I'm back there behind her tail that she needs to be worried. I don't want her to be worried at all, but it's inevitable that as we're learning new things, we step into those unknown zones, and anything that we don't know is intimidating. So there are going to be some moments of that in her body, and that's okay. It's that we can come back down from that place. Oh, goodness gracious. Big yawn. Okay. Big yawn, so really going to create space for that. It's going to flow out into another. Amazing, amazing. So important with the yawn to give space for it, for one. Anytime a horse needs to yawn, whatever I'm doing gets deprioritized and the yawn takes top shelf. If I can continue to do the thing I was doing, as long as it's not asking more of her, I love to be able to do that and to see that she can, if she can yawn inside of that space of me walking this arc, which she obviously can, that's like gold. And really, really important to recognize what came before the yawn, right? So that moment when I was back at her tail and she was confused and thought that meant I wanted her to move her body. And I didn't. I came back and said, actually, no, just me being there doesn't mean anything. It's my intention. And my intention right now is just this is a peace pocket we're in together. Just be in the peace pocket. And so as she settled back into that place, obviously, that caused a lot of pressure inside of her mentally, and so you saw that cascade out as she let that go in that yawn. Yawns are bigger releases than licks and chews. So when a horse yawns, there's even more that they're trying to let go of. And of course, yawns can be many things, you know. Sometimes, you know, if horses are in pain, they'll yawn. That was not a pain response. You'll see sometimes horses when they're hungry yawning. When their tummies are empty and they're expecting breakfast, oftentimes that can be a sign of ulcers, because really the yawn is physically an opening. It's like goats yawn as they're giving birth. You know, I gave birth to 3 daughters, and every time I opened my mouth very wide as they came out. So the physical nature of the yawn is an opening for the entire body. When one orifice opens, it naturally encourages the others to open, both on a physical plane and energetic plane. So that's the reason I feel that the yawn is seen in so many different situations with the horse and actually holds so many different meanings, because it's really just the horse opening their body. Now, why do they need to open their body? Are they trying to open their body because there's discomfort? That can be the case. Just now, she needed to open her body because she was coming back from that pressure of feeling some confusion in my ask. And then, so that created a tension, a closure of the orifice, so to speak. And then when she felt a softening in my ask, she was able to open that orifice, that yawn, opened that energetic space for her. And she was able to set it free. So that's really amazing. The fact that she can pick that back leg up, that she can move her tail, these are all just brilliant, brilliant things that she can do. All right, so let's see. All right, so we've been talking about moving thoughts, which is like the gas pedal. Direction of thought, which is kind of like steering. Catching thoughts, which is kind of like our backup or our whoa. We're not even going to venture into catching thoughts yet. We're still playing with moving thoughts and starting to think about directing thoughts. First, I want to be able to have a neutral, kind of like if you're driving a stick shift, you don't just throw it into first gear and take off, you find neutral first. It's all part of that dance of being able to flex the muscle and set that muscle free. So this is neutral. Be able to move my stick different ways. The stick too doesn't mean anything right now. It's just an extension of my body. All right. So this time as I come behind, I am going to ask for her to move those thoughts. All right, so right here, see how she's looking at me. Now I'm not going to add pressure. Hold same. My intention is that she leaves, she walks. That's my intention right there, okay? Now I did step back to say yes, but I didn't keep drawing away because that would have possibly drawn her to me, as was happening before. And I'm actually not wanting to work on a draw right now. I'm wanting to work on some language that involves moving those shoulders away so that we have some communication established before we go into our first touches. Nice. So she could come back down to a place of relaxation really quickly. So I'm going to ask again. Step towards again. That's it. I'm going to just rocked my center of gravity. And then she finished the thought, see? So well done. And then because she was able to come down so soft, I'm going to step in again. If she looks towards me, that's fine. I'm just going to hold until she steps on. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. So this is where it's so tempting to draw away. You know, you can feel her reaching to connect, and I love that. But I do want to work a little on our direction of thought first. So I'm actually going to add some energy at the shoulder right here. That's what I wanted to be able to have. Simply her be able to shift away. And it's really important to note, especially in this moment, that she has had some of this language initiated when she loaded into the trailer. My amazing friend Stephanie Lindsley she used to be the head trainer at the largest Mustang sanctuary there was in the country at the time. And she's helped over 1,000 Mustangs, and she is excellent at helping move Mustangs from place to place when they're still wild, basically, like before you have all that communication built in. And so she actually helped our amazing girl here load into the trailer, and there was definitely some maneuvering of shoulders in that. And so she's had that, so she does have some familiarity with that, but it was more, in that case, it was more Stephanie was behind her, and she was more, almost like she was driving her, if you picture like ground driving. It wasn't as much in this position, and it certainly wasn't in a place where she was also looking to seek to draw in. Oh, wow. Wow. I am going to step back for that because that was a really amazing letting go in that moment. Really amazing. Okay, so I'm going to do the thing that I don't want to do right now, and I'm going to ask her shoulder to step over. I would really much rather look at her hip and ask her to come towards me, but I'm going to save that for later because this is a really important part. This is the place that the horses that are easy will let you create holes in your communication, because you think, well, I don't need to work on shoulders leading me right now. She wants to connect. Like, I should just be, why don't you just go up there and rub on her, you know? I mean, she's not even worried by my hands doing this. I can't tell you how many Mustangs I've worked with that this would have been terrifying to them, right? This is not, Mustangs don't look at you with softness and when you're doing this with your body, like not at this early of a stage. Like, she is amazing, amazing. And even all the more reason that I need to remember what the difficult Mustangs taught me and make sure I am helping her learn those things too. Because every horse needs all the language to be able to really thrive in this horse-human relationship. So I'm going to actually ask that shoulder to move. Okay, so see how she's coming towards? That's it, right there I stopped. I'm not actually stepping away, I just stopped asking. And this is where it's really helpful to have an extension of your hand, because you can reach into that space and you can be so much more clear. It is absolutely not about being aggressive. It's not even about escalating pressure in this moment. There are times when escalating pressure is important. This is not one of those times. Right now, this is literally so that I can reach to a different part of her body and be able to communicate that I'm actually wanting to push her from that spot. That's super, super important. All right, so I would like to go back to doing some asking these thoughts to move, as in gas pedal, but I didn't actually ask right there, right? So actually going to make a wide circle. I don't want her to think that just because I went to the same spot in relationship to her body that I meant for her to respond in that moment in that way. It's not about where my body is. It's not even exactly about what my body's doing, though it can look that way. It is about what my intention is. What my intention is. It's really as simple as that. Now, obviously, my body is going to mirror my intention. So I am going to, the tool, the way I'm using the tool, the cue is going to look differently and maybe even look kind of a certain way when my intention is a certain way. But I really should be able to hold my body in that way and have the intention be opposite, and I want her to be able to respond to the intention. So she's in a really good position right now to be able to ask for a little bit of that direction of thought, because she's perpendicular to the rail, so it would be easy for her to just step her body laterally. And I think well, she answered that question. I was going to say I'm tempted to do a little with that shoulder because we haven't been on that side yet, but she took care of that. So my boot brushed over this stick and made a bit of a rustly noise, and she responded to it. So not in a big way, obviously, but she is now looking at the fence. She's, so those things, it's not a big enough thing that it's just observation. It's just being aware that startled her, and being aware of that, and then giving her space. I intentionally didn't stop making the noise. I kind of kept the noise going until she was able to stop, but then giving her that space to say, I see you. Yeah. So I'm going to walk into my spot. I'm not asking her to move her feet yet. If she moves her feet, I'm going to go into my arc. My arc is our preliminary way of grounding, of dropping roots in the ground, or of putting the car in neutral. You could say it any of those ways. It's all pointers to the same essence of what I'm looking for here when I'm walking this arc. I'm the same distance from her, therefore I'm not adding any pressure to her, but I'm just letting her know that we're just grounding. And this is really important to have in the beginning. If all I do is come in here and move her around, then that's what she's going to be looking for me to do. The only time that I would come in here and we'd be moving around is if the horse was moving around already. If my presence in here was causing the horse to move around. Then I might even step on the outside of the panel and communicate from out there. I can't really say what I would do because that's not what's happening right now. So she's ambling off. She's going to go look at the camera. Oh my goodness. I think you're a natural. You're a natural. She sniffed one of the guardian dogs and he popped up. Her energy got big. I'm just going to follow that flow of energy. See how she's in a different place now? That wasn't something that came from me. That was something. Now, right here, I'm going to ask that shoulder to continue to leave. See her trying to draw in, trying to draw in. I'm just going to ask that shoulder to leave. It's so tempting just to let it draw in. I'm not escalating pressure. I'm same. I'm same. Same spot. I'm not getting closer to her. I'm holding. And I'm just going to wait. And just wait. I'm holding. Right here. Holding. Same, same, same. She doesn't really know what to do with this yet. My intention is for that shoulder to shift. That's it. That's it. And again, I'm going to step in a little more towards the shoulder here, just a hair. Right there. I'm not actually going to touch her yet because I don't want to startle her into shifting. I'm just basically touching the air beside her shoulder. Right there. Doesn't matter how long it takes. I just get an opportunity to exercise my arm in this way. Right there. So those are tiny yeses. When she even though she didn't shift her shoulder, she shifted her awareness for a moment. And I said yes to that. Shifted her awareness. When I drop the stick, that's my yes in this moment. I don't want to actually step away because I think she might draw in to me. Don't want that quite yet. I want her to be able to slide away from me comfortably. That's it. Oh, geez, you're good. You are so good. You are so good. Yeah, so good. She actually followed that thought through all the way. And I think part of what happened there was a little bit of her tapping into something she learned when she was loading. My dear friend Stephanie Lindsley was loading her into the trailer to get her here, and did some shoulder guiding her shoulders in that space, and it felt like she recognized that spot. She was like, oh, I do know what this means, because she followed it all the way through. Yeah, so good. So I would not then come and push this shoulder back into the rail. I could, but it's a little more abrupt and awkward for her to do that. She'd have to kind of shove her head up into the rail. I want to make it really easy for her to flow into the things I'm asking. So I'm actually going to come over here. And at first, I really just want her to know that she can stay grounded. I don't want her to do anything yet. But then I am going to come back here. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to keep my arc. I want her to be able to ground first before I ask anything of her. Again, this is that infant stage. This is the baby cries and you pick them up, or the baby cries and you don't pick them up. This is building in those very fundamental pathways that she is going to walk down the rest of her life as a horse that now is in a relationship with a human. So it is so important that this process of being able to have energy come into your body and feel that pressure, and then be able to drop that energy back down, the roots coming up, roots going down. That is so important to build in from the very beginning. So this arc that I'm walking is really critical. Anytime that she starts to make an assumption, I'm going to make this arc. Unless the assumption is helping her figure out the question, and sometimes that will be the case. So sometimes she makes those assumptions and I'll say, yes, that was right. That's why I can't really come up with a step-by-step, because it's all in the moment. Step 1 is the present moment. Step 2 is the present moment. Step 3 is the present moment. What's happening in the present moment? It's all that ever matters. All right, so this time, assuming that she stays grounded, I am going to ask. So now I am asking for a little bit of movement. Nice. Take off the ask as soon as she moves. The big, if you hear the thundering hooves, the herd is galloping towards us. Yeah, that's your herd. Those are your unicorn friends. That's Magic and Abe. Yeah. Hello, beautiful. Yeah. I'm hopeful that she's going to love them. I'm going to ask for another step forward. Take off my ask a little. Put the ask back on. Okay, so right here, I would like to see if that can happen. Nice. So you can see how her body is tighter here. I'm kind of walking a little towards her hip. Oh, she's licking and chewing while in movement, which is wonderful. And then I'm going to slow down my ask, and I am going to draw away just a hair, just to say that was it. And let her melt back into that. That was beautiful. Beautiful. And that lick and chew is beautiful. Obviously, she had a place of pressure that she went to, and then now she's letting it go. I'm going to go back into my arc. So I really want to help her find that place of softness and roots dropping, peace, peace pocket. These little peace pockets become like a breadcrumb trail to anywhere we want to go. And I do a lot of positive reinforcement with food rewards as well. Haven't done that with her, of course, but even with all of that, I still always feel that peace is the ultimate cookie. Peace is the ultimate cookie. However, peace doesn't create that super seeking mode that a cookie will create. So there's amazing things that you can help the horse learn through something that they love, be it food or a scratch or something that they're actively seeking. They seek peace in a different way than they seek those other pleasures. But I think in our core, we all desire peace more than anything else. It's when we're in a state of peace we can be truly ourselves. So I love how she's settled to the point of picking at the grass and blowing. Actually, this is a really good place to stop for now. I mean, I would love to just keep going on and on, but this is a really good place for her to end, where she's just so relaxed with me walking this arc that she's kind of disconnected. She's not dropping roots in the ground. She's just exploring her space. But it's because she feels so safe. The fact that she feels so safe with me doing this, that she can do that, is really important to me. And I would like for that to be her Z for this morning. So the Z is the last thing that the horse thinks about, the last thing that you do. And the last thing that we do is always the thing that lands the deepest and that we kind of ruminate on. And so I really like this as a Z. So I'm going to step out here. Wow, what a first morning.